I wrote this poem almost 2 years ago in October 2024. And I'm reading this again, really reflecting about the poem that I've written, a little passage that I have attached to the poem, and just looking at 2 years from the time I've written it, where I am right now, and what do I want, what am I looking for in my next phase in life, because it has been 2 years. So the the poem is called I'm Her. In the mirror, I see her face. I'm finally keeping up with her pace. She's not perfect, but she's me, a vision of who I longed to be. I've climbed the hills, I've walked the plains, I've felt the tears and braved the pains. Now I stand where dreams reside, not flawless, but true inside. Every level, I learn and grow, acquiring skills as I go. I've been leveling up, rising high, through burnout, breakdowns, and tears that dry. Sometimes hot Lisa takes the lead, but when she's warned, soft Lisa concedes. Every battle a story told, every lesson a skill unfold. In this moment, I feel the flow of living the life I yearned to know. On the end, not the end, but just the start of a path that's led by heart. I am her, the woman I've dreamt of being, now ready to journey through all that's worth living. I have arrived. So this is what, oh, it's actually much longer than I thought. Okay, this is what I've written as a accompanying little passage together with the poem. Lately, I find myself wondering, experiencing a very strange dissonance. On one hand, I've been insanely stressed, peak stress of my entire existence thus far. I've never experienced this body warning me of the stress as much as the last 2 months. I've been sick, burnt out, and doubts fill my mind. One evening, I told myself, you know what? I'm okay to die right now. Not in a commit suicide kind of way, obviously, but to realize, hey, girl, you have done a lot, you have gone through all of this, you have given your best. Now it's time to rest before we move forward. We need to rest, we need to recharge, we need to become better. Every weekend back then was a self care day, and I've been trying to recalibrate my life, celebrating little successes and reframing my journey as I move forward. On the other hand, I find myself Googling what happens when you live your dream life. Obviously, no answers comes out and even ChatGPT is not very helpful. I feel like I've arrived at this very state and I've always dreamt about. Being this whole global businesswoman I've wanted since young, running companies, having teams, mentoring my leadership team, hiring people way smarter than me, and I'm who I'm finally wanting to be all my life. Finally, I can say that I'm her, not just in a professional life, but also in my alone time. I love my space. I love my home. I've made my home my home. I enjoy hanging out with my friends. I have a healthy relationship with my family. I'm content, filled with joy and hope. I'm not happy every day, but I'm truly content, and that is enough. The funny thing is, I am as stressed as I've ever been, yet I feel right where I need to be and never sure of who I am, my principles, my values. Very assured of myself. It's not a stress free, big farmhouse, homestead life of I am her, but the version of me where I know I'm ready to take on the world. I've been through so much and it's really hard sometimes. I'm a better version of me with every struggle, every situation, every challenge. I'm really proud of that. And I feel truly and completely the future Lisa that the past Lisa aspires to be. I know that there'll be lots of challenges in life, but I just keep getting stronger. I know it doesn't get easier, I just get better. Here's what's next. Like the entire world trying to get to where I am now. And I'm figuring out what to do next. Rationally, I know it's just to keep improving, keep doing what I'm doing and being present. I do that. I do what I do not because there's fire under my ass, not because there's fire under my ass, but because I truly love and enjoy what I do. I guess that's also why I'm looking for mentors in life where they've reached this stage and they can share what the next steps look like. And rationally, I also know it's family and children, and I get that, and I'm ready when it's time. But from now till then, I guess I'll just keep being me. Maybe also I haven't seen people who are successful in their professional life, personal life, social life, and family love life. These are the four plates that we have to keep spinning. In fact, a lot of biographies of business people and people I know in real life seem to lack in the whole family and love life aspect. Be it cheating, loose morals, or separated with children, it seems to be the hardest to excel at, being both really good at professional life and also family and love life. Whatever it is, I'm going to keep doing me, learning fundraising skills, letting my ego go, and giving the company baton to the management team I mentored, build deeper friendships with true friends, keep hanging out with my family, prioritize my alone face mask, candle, moisturizer, skincare, books time, play 5 sports a week, and whatever it is, I have arrived at where I always wanted to be. Here now, nowhere else. Come what may. Love. So this is what I've written 2 years ago. And in the 2 years since, I really have been enjoying the piece, really dialing more into me. I would say that one of a very important thing I believe in my life is that you should have your own space, have your own home, and make it your version of home. It took me a very, very long time, but my home is the absolute best place I want to be. And there can be all these fancy hotels with butler services and all these fancy things out there in the world. And I'm happy to go on a holiday, but I'm very, very happy to keep coming back to me, to my home, to my space, because that's where I want to be. And that's where I truly enjoy being. It's a place that's curated by me for me. And in the last 2 years, I have done a lot of experimentation, exploration of where I want to go, experimenting different paths. And nothing really captured me in the way that my previous passion captured me. It really consumed my life. It was my first baby. My first company was my first baby. It's my first baby still. And it has consumed every living moment when I'm awake to before I go to sleep. Everything I wanted to do and everything I've dedicated to was my company. And sure, I have had relationships in between them, and I also prioritize the person I love. But my company was very, very important to me. It was a big identity and a manifestation of me in that entity of my company. Fast forward 2 years after I've written this, and I still enjoy the phase I am. I think in the last 2 years, I am very, very lucky to be able to enjoy the peace that I have, the successes that I've had throughout my entire life, to come to a place that's a very fortunate place that not many people can do at a much younger time in their life. So I'm very, very grateful for that. At the same time, I'm ready to move to the next phase. And I think the moving to the next phase encompasses two things. I think the last 2 years I've done a lot in terms of hobby, social life, family life, and really getting to know myself, oneself very well. And also just reflecting and reframing what the world is today in terms of geopolitics, in terms of AI, in terms of technology. The world of tomorrow is going to be vastly different from the world of yesterday. And it takes a lot of time to adjust. And then in this new world, what is my meaning? What is the value I bring to the world? How do I want to navigate this new world? And that's everything I've been thinking about. So the two things that it's really good to have these all spoken out loud because it helps me to think a lot as well. So two things I think it's going to be a very important focus in the next period of my life, 5 to 10 years. The first one is, again, it's business, and it is a pivot from my current company, my baby, into a new direction. I do have some ideas of that. I guess the only reason I'm not taking a more aggressive step forward is that it feels quite scary. And it's not in a bad way. I think every big scary thing every big thing starts off a little bit scary. And I'm quite excited about this. There are a lot of other projects that's on the table and then it's moving forward. And that's good and it's moving forward, but it's not like I want to dedicate my life to it. I think I found something that's quite interesting. I want to dive deeper into that and share my thoughts around that because I think it's something that I could see myself dedicating the next 10 years of my life to building these products. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's big and scary because I think it's big because it can absolutely revolutionize a lot of the industries that we're in. It's very aligned to whatever that's being built. It's completely really solving real problems that we're seeing. The part that I am a bit more, I'm very scared about is that I don't know enough people. I don't have the right skills. There's a huge skills gap. But you know what? That has never stopped me. You know, when I first started my first company, there were a lot of things I don't know. And I didn't really care. I just head down and went with it. So I think it's, yeah, I think this whole scary thing is just in my head. I know when I set myself to do this, that will be done. So yeah, I just do that. Easy. I want to wrap my head around that a little bit more and then move forward with it. The second thing I think I want to be very intentional about is love life and family. I know that well, you could argue that I'm still young enough to gallivant around the world. And I think there's a lot of it's fun with that, you know. I'm not saying that that's bad. I think I've had a lot of fun in my lifetime and I'm still having a lot of fun. At the same time, I know this is a short-term fun that just satisfies the short-term me. But I know in the long run, this is not what I want. In fact, 5 years from now, if I have to look back, I really hope the current me is not doing what I'm doing now. I mean, I've stopped that, so things are changing, so that's good. And I want to be very intentional in being a good partner, um being a good partner to a person, being there for the person, being intentional, caring for someone else, building something together, creating memories, and build something, build a we together, build a life together. And I'm excited for that. Am I ready for that? I want to say that through the last 3 years, I have a lot of entries of saying I'm ready for going to a relationship again. I'm ready to love again. I'm ready to be vulnerable again. And and it just comes and goes, I'd say. I think the difficult part is not about being ready. I think the difficult part is finding the right person. And then what does it mean to find the right person? That's a whole different topic. But I think finding someone that one is compatible with, it's makes sense to try and make this work. And what does it mean to be ready? Are we ever ready for for falling in love? Well, I guess so. It's oh, you know what? I'm gonna rephrase that. What does it mean to be ready to fall in love? What does it mean to be ready to go into a relationship? I think that is being ready to be vulnerable with someone, being ready to, you know, give your heart and soul to someone, knowing that they could absolutely break your heart. They could really, really hurt you, and you hope they don't do that. And it's another big scary thing because if they hurt you and you give them your heart, it really sucks very much. So I think that's the other big scary thing that's on my list. So I think the next phase in my life are just two big scary things. One is a new direction of where I want to go, what I want to do, and I have an idea already. So I want to double down on that. There are a couple of industries that I could tap into, so I'm excited about that. The other one is falling in love again. And yeah, I have not been in love for since my last relationship. And that was hard. That was hard. I thought, I mean, with every relationship, you think that's the person for you, your soulmate, the one. And I really, really thought he was the one for me. And well, clearly it ended. It took me a very, very long time to come back to being ready to love again. And so it gets a bit scary, it gets very scary. So you know what? The big scary things is coming up for me next. And I have arrived 2 years ago to where I want to be. And I think that's a very nice state. And that was me becoming, preserving the version of me. The last 2 years, it's a mix of preserving the version of me and figuring out what am I becoming. Today, I'm quite comfortable to say that I know that I am more focused on the becoming part than preserving. And I'm ready to do the big scary things, the very big, very scary things, because life is boring if you're just doing and staying in the safe lane. It's really boring. Gotta do big scary things. Gotta take risks. Got to get hurt. Gotta get scars. Gotta risk it. Because yes, you can get really hurt, but god damn it, it could be the best thing that ever happened in your life. So I did not expect to talk about these things today, but I was just reflecting on some certain things and this popped up. So I have arrived and now I'm moving forward to big scary things. Bye.